Rolleiflex, not Rollei. Rolleiflex, not Rollei. Presenting the Rollei 2.8. Buttercups. Presenting the Rolleiflex 2.8f. Today we have a video for you with a camera that has been much requested. I finally get my hands on the remarkable Rolleiflex 2.8f planar. Now, I'm not going to give you a long history story about Rolleiflex. That has been done elsewhere very well already. But I will talk to you about this particular camera as it is a bit special. This is what is known as a white face Rolleiflex. It takes its name from the lens surround and not from its stance on race relations. But before we get started on cool camera stuff, I want to show you something else pretty cool, and that's my t-shirt. In fact, we've got a whole load of swag over on the Teespring, which you should definitely check out. Got these cool shirts to celebrate Jushunin, Japan Camera Hunter 10 years. See on the back, my dragon. Yeah, so make sure you come and support. Thanks, it helps keep the channel going. Cheers. The white face models were the last of the original line of 2.8f cameras, notwithstanding the special editions. Many collectors consider these the last of the truly great Rolleiflex cameras, and the white face models are generally more expensive. But why? Well, it is said that they have a better upgraded cement between the optics, which reduces separation, no more mucky Canada balsam, and supposedly they are tighter too, though I will leave that one open to interpretation, you mucky pups. But what is more appealing to collectors is that not all that many white face models were made, and they came at the end of the production of the 2.8f. At this time, the 1970s, many people, particularly professionals, were not buying TLRs any longer, so these cameras got a lot less use than their predecessors, particularly by professionals who had already moved on to SLR cameras. So why the white face? Actually, I couldn't really find anything other than anecdotal evidence for this, but the theory goes that Rolleiflex decided to tart the cameras up a bit in an attempt to appeal to a wider audience to boost a flagging market. The white face models are not just a pretty face though. Dad joke. They do actually have some improvements which made a big difference in the cameras, particularly with the film tensioning. It is also said that some of them have better internals, but again, I couldn't really find anything concrete on that. In fact, finding any sort of detailed records for Rolleiflex is difficult. Tracing their history is more confusing than tracing that of a royal family, and probably has more intrigue as well. It seems Rolleiflex were rather haphazard when it came to keeping records, and it's not exactly the easiest thing to research. Right, too long didn't listen? Okay, this is a white face Rolleiflex twin lens reflex camera. It shoots a 6x6 image on 120 or 220 film. Originally released in 1960, it saw continuous production until 1981. It uses a very simple system of two objective lenses of the same focal length, the top one for viewing and the bottom one for shooting. The finder is usually viewed from above, and it has a stationary 45-degree mirror inside, hence reflex. The Rolleiflex uses an 80mm 2.8 lens. This Rolleiflex does, most others do, not all of them. And this lens is particularly special. This is the Carl Zeiss 80mm 2.8 lens. Now, that is equivalent to about 44mm on a 35mm camera. But for most people it would consider 50mm. And this lens, yeah, we should talk about it. It's really special. The Zeiss planar is lovely. It has a famed glow and resonance to it, and it's one of the true greats of the lens world. And on this camera, it produces absolutely fantastic results. The Rolleiflex uses a leaf shutter system, which means that you can shoot this at really low speeds because there's no mirror shake or shutter shake or anything like that, mirror slap to worry about. This was taken to great advantage by a number of famous photographers. This is a later model, so you can see this one has a light meter, which is seen by these diodes across the top here and the meter on the side there. Though having said that, the meter may not be all that accurate nowadays, so it's always a good idea to carry an external light meter around with you. Right, so why don't we take this camera out and see how it performs? Nice and tight. You need the connection, the Geekery connection. The Rolleiflex is an absolutely outstanding camera. It's an incredible piece of mechanical engineering, and it shows that how advanced they were when this camera was made. It really was the peak of mechanical engineering. You can see by the build quality, the way it feels in your hand. It's solid, it's confidence inspiring. It feels like a very solid camera, and it really makes you feel very good about how you take your pictures, and it gives you a warm fuzzy feeling when because people notice this camera, always say something nice about it too. Back in 1929, when Rolleiflex first introduced their TLR cameras, the use of a TLR and looking through the top viewfinder really changed the way photography was taken. It revolutionized photography, and it changed photography for generations. If you haven't used a TLR before, I really encourage you to go out and have a go with one, because there is simply nothing like looking at an image from above and composing the image for yourself. It's a fantastic experience. The lens on this camera is great, and the camera itself is really easy to use. Everything is right where you need it, right where your fingers want to find it. The aperture, the shutter, everything's there. It's a great camera to use, but there is a caveat, and that is the TLR. If you're not familiar with the TLR system, it's going to be opposite from which way you're used to, and you're going to find yourself going all over the place trying to find a shot. But don't worry, it doesn't take long. You'll very quickly find yourself switching and finding yourself really comfortable using it and composing images just the way you want to, just before you even know it. Right then, it's pros and cons time. Pros: it is built like a 1950s fridge. It's fantastic optics, a joy to use. It makes you more appealing as a human being, and it makes you think you are Diane Arbus. Cons. Well, it's quite expensive, very expensive in fact. People who have massive hand-pisted hands might find things a little bit difficult to get used to. Not always the easiest to get used to, the TLR system at the first time, and it won't actually make you into Diane Arbus. Without exaggeration, I would say that the Rolleiflex is one of the greatest cameras ever made, full stop. The whole range of them are great. The Rolleiflex, the Rolleicord 3.5s, 2.8s, they're all brilliant cameras. Every photographer worth their salt should try one at least once. And if you get your hands on one with a planar or a Zenitar lens, you are really going to be in for a treat. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, come and check out the website japancamera hunter.com, and keep on shooting film. See you next time.